welcome everybody. As a next routine, we'll be using the band for some of the exercises. So if you make sure that you've got the band close to you, so ready to grab it when you're ready to do so. So it's finding a comfortable seated position, crossing the legs, opening, closing, bending, straightening. Same as usual. If the hips are quite tight, using a blocker to help you raise the hips up slightly so that you can sit up a little bit straighter, a little bit more comfortable, and then just trying to warm up through the back and into the shoulders. Locking the seat bones down into the ground, is trying to lift up from the middle of the back all the way up to the top of the head, connecting the center. Crossing the hands onto the chest, is making sure that the chest stays open, so I'm not closing and rounding into the shoulders. And then taking a deep breath in to prepare. As you breathe out, I'm going to start rotating to one side. It doesn't matter which side we're going to be alternating. Easing your way back to the middle, and then exhaling your way around to the other side. Try not to force the rotation, so making sure that I'm not turning so far that I feel that the legs start pulling, the shoulders start shrugging, I might start even leaning backwards or sideways. The shoulders are keeping the same level, the hips of the legs are as relaxed as possible, the chest is still lifted, the neck is still longer, so see if I can keep the chin parallel to the floor. So imagine your back to be like a solid pole that you've got planted on the floor. I'm going to try and rotate my way around that pole. So feeling a gentle tension coming from the side of the belly, the obliques are working to create that pull, adjusting the position of the legs as many times as you need to if you feel that you're not quite in the right place. Making sure that you're not slumping back, as a flexion and rotation together are not ideal for your lumbar discs. So see if I can maintain that lift through the middle, and then rotating around the side. If I'm happy enough with the movement and I feel that I can progress it, then I'm going to start loading a little bit more into the shoulders. So instead of keeping the arms tucked into the front, I'm going to start pushing the arms behind. Imagine to be holding a big bunch of flowers between the arms. Try not to spoil the flowers, so try not to squash them. So I'm going to drop the shoulders, so picking up the back, and then I'm going to start rotating to one side. So see if you can keep the shape of the arms in the middle as you're moving from side to side. So I'm not driving with my elbows, I'm not suddenly squashing the arms towards me, I'm trying to maintain my shape as I take them from side to side. Noticing if the neck starts to stiffening, if the shoulders start lifting and shrugging every time that you come back to the middle. See if you can exhale the shoulders down and away from the head, but maintaining that lift into the back. And then if I still feel comfortable here and I feel that I can progress it a little bit more, then I'm going to go full load. I'm going to open the arms out nice and wide, turning the palms forward, turning the palms up, whichever way round, dropping the shoulders down and away from the head, and then I'm going to start rotating to one side. Imagine one of those wind flags, you're one of those. So making sure that the arms are not moving independently from the body, the arms are moving with the body, so the rib cage turns, the arms are turned with me. Come back to the center, the rib cage turns the other way, the arms are turned with me. So one arm is not coming across, the other arm is not twisting and dropping behind, making me lean forward and then lose that alignment. The shoulders are still down, so choosing the option that works the best for you. 4, 3, relaxing the legs, 2, maintaining that nice lift into the back, last one, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, relaxing the arms, just a little bit more movement through the back, changing the direction of the movement again, keeping the legs as they are if you're happy there. If you feel that you can, we're going to set into your semi-mermaid. So both legs are going to fold and then go to the same side. So both to the right or both to the left, whichever way around you want to do it first. if the hip is tight, the one you're sitting on is tight, the tendency will be to kind of like leaning in that direction. So unless I put my arm down, I can't sit here. Try to wedge the block underneath of that right bum cheek. So raising the hips up slightly, I feel that I can sit straighter, or at least I can take the arm away. If I find that even with the block under the hip, I can't do that, my hips are very stiff, so I feel it's quite uncomfortable for my knees, and then the legs are going to come to the front. I'm going to go back across legs, or legs out, or legs together, whichever way around works best. So choosing the option that suits you better. And then once the legs are set, they're trying to straighten up the body. I'm going to start to scooping so if the legs are over to your left, you're going to scoop the right arm up and over, and then we're going to flex to the left. With that left arm, I'm going to reach across the opposite way. See if I can encourage a nice stretch coming up the right side of the body. Then I'm going to ease my way back, and then reversing the arm, I'm going to go the other way. Now the other way, you're missing support. So this leg can't push very hard. So making sure that I'm going just as far as I feel that I can hold myself here. It doesn't feel as if I'm going to drop and fall. Then easing back, and then I'm going to go over to the left again, and then I'm going to come to the right. So just enough to create a little activation into the side of the belly, but don't go so far that you feel the hip start getting a little bit too involved. So I feel that my hip, my groin on this left side starts almost like a crumping up with the effort, and then I'm going to reverse it again, and then to the other side, and then coming back. Whichever breath you want to use, preferably if you can, trying to exhale your way off to the side, inhale your way back, and then exhaling the other way. But as far as you're breathing, I don't care, I don't mind which way around you breathe, just make sure you're not holding the breath. 4, 3, 2, last one. Change inside and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the back. If you're sitting into your semi-mermaid, then I'm going to go the other way. So I'm going to flip the legs down to the other side, and then again adjust them to make sure that I can sit reasonably upright. So popping the block under that left bottom cheek. If you need to raise yourself or bring the legs to the front, if I find that for some reason this hip is a lot tighter, so I can't sit this way. Once you're happy that the legs are set, then scooping that left arm up and over, and then we're going to flex it to the right. Pulling the right arm across, maintaining that lift through the front of the body, easing back, and then I'm going to go over to the other side. Coming back, and then flexing one way, easing back, and then to the other. So same as you did on the other side, making sure that as you're going off to the left, the right hip is not crumping up, so I'm going just as far as I can about feel a little tension into the side of the waist, into the side of the belly. As you're going over to the right, to see if I can maintain that lift through the chest, so making sure that I'm not dropping, the arm is not coming across and flopping, see if I can keep it stronger, see if I can keep it lifted. And then as much as you can, see if you can keep it straight. So as more I bend the elbow, the more slack I'm giving to the shoulder, the more I reach the arm away, the longer the stretch into the arm, the better the stretch. So unless there is pain, I'm going to aim for the arm to reach as far out of the shoulder socket as I can. And then I'm going to do the same thing the other side. 4, 3, 2, Last time. One way and the other. And releasing back. Giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. So a little bit more movement through the upper body. I'm going to start adding the legs. So setting the band behind you. I'm going to lie down, resting on my back. Wrapping the band around the rib cage, making sure that it's stacked underneath the arms as if it's around the arm. As I pull, it might slip and then snap into the back of the neck. It's not very comfortable. So it's stacked between the arms, it's not going to go anywhere. Holding it so that it's scrunched up into your hands, so as I push up, it's not going to dig anywhere. If you hold it between thumb and finger, as you drive up, it's going to start digging and then feeling quite uncomfortable for the hand. So adjust the grip whenever you need. The closer your hands are to your rib cage, the harder, as the band becomes shorter, the further away your hands are from the rib cage, the easier as the band gets longer. So I'm going to set the head to the center, connecting the belly. I'm going to lift the right leg up into tabletop. The right knee comes up directly above the hip, the shin nice and parallel to the ground. If I feel safe and comfortable doing so, I might lift my left leg too, just making sure that the tension, the effort stays in the hip and into the belly. It doesn't suddenly turns into strain for the back. If the back is straining, then the left leg goes down. If the back is still straining, even the single leg comes down, and then I'm just going to keep going with the arms. So choosing the option that suits you better. I'm going to take a deep breath in, and then as I breathe out, I'm going to start driving both arms up and towards the ceiling. I want the arms to extend away, the shoulders to stay down and away from the head, so I'm not shrugging, I'm not stiffening the neck, I'm not tightening through the jaw. I'm going to control the resistance back down, and then I'm going to push it up again. 2. And I'm going to ease back, and then push it up again. 3. Ease back, and then push it up again. 4. As you keep the pressure going, adjust the resistance, make it shorter, make the band shorter, longer to suit your arms. Just to be aware, as the band tightens around the back of the rib cage, if the center is weak, the tendency will be for the back to lift away, to arch away. If that happens, all the pressure will start going into the lower back. So see if you can be aware of the back of the rib cage, almost like pressing gently into the mat. So feeling the tension at the front of the belly, trying to connect your lower ribs with the front of the abdomen, just making sure that the ribs are not flaring, the rib cage is not suddenly sticking out. Checking that the leg or the legs are still holding that nice sharper tabletop. If you're on the single leg, I want you to switch to your left leg now. If you're on a double raise, check that the legs are still holding sharp, they're not hanging down, they're not coming into the chest, they're not flopping, so still strong legs, are still strong core to support them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and easing back. Breathing 1, and then taking the other leg down, extending the legs away, allowing the front of the hips and the front of the belly a little rest. I'm going to try again. So I've got a good control through the middle, a good control over the legs. I'm going to start adding movement into the legs, but I'm going to change the tension on the band. So pulling the band out, bringing it to the front this time. I'm going to raise the arms up and towards the ceiling, and then this time I'll be pulling the band out to the side. So what I want is for the arms to stay reasonably straight, and then the band to drop down across the top of the chest. I don't want the shoulders to shrug, and then I don't want my elbow to start bending. So it's not the arm that is creating that tension, it's the shoulders. So I want a nice squeeze at the back that is pulling the arms out wide. So I'm going to test the band Try to find a resistance that I feel I can work with. The arm can stay straight, I'm not locking it, so the elbow is soft, I'm pulling out. I'm going to lift the right leg up into tabletop, the same as before. If I feel safe and comfortable, the left leg will come up too. Maintaining that lifted through. It doesn't matter if one or both legs are lifted, we're only going to move the right leg, so I'm repeating on the right side. As the arms open out to the side, I'm going to start extending the right leg away. As far as you want to go, as far as you're not letting the leg touch the ground. Then I'm going to ease the arms and the leg back, and then I'm going to try again. Making sure that the band is not recoiling the arms too quickly back up. So see if I can work on the way out to stretch the band and extend the leg, and then on the way back to resist the pull of the band and then return the arms back up. So I'm going to open up with the arms, extend the leg, and then close, and then come back. If that left leg starts getting too heavy, you can always put the leg down, making sure that you're not keeping both legs raised, that if you feel that the back is straining. So at no point there should be pain on the back. If the hip is working, if the belly is doing its work, the back should be feeling quite relaxed. 4, 3, 2. On the last one, I'm going to hold the leg extended, so find the angle that works for you. If I put the leg too far down, there is no effort, as my leg is just wedged up by my bum now, so there's not much effort. If I put the leg too high, it's all in the hip, it's not in the belly. So see if I can try and get the mid-range point where I can feel that the belly and the hip have got to work together. And then maintaining the leg nice and still, I'm just going to go with the arms. For 10, 9, control it back. 8, 7, all in the belly, 9 in the back. 6, 5, the neck is nice and relaxed. 4, 3, 2, 1, and easing back. Bring the right leg back. I'm going to release the right leg down, the left hip is lifted, allowing the arms to come down, hands, shoulders, hips, belly to have a little rest. I'm going to repeat exactly the same thing on the left side. So if I had both legs, the right leg will stay up and still. If I had one leg lifted, then the right leg is staying down, just the left leg will pop up. So bending the knees, resetting your neutral, same as before. Lifting the left leg up into tabletop, right leg if you feel safe and comfortable doing so. The hip connected, the belly connected, raising the arms up. As the band stretches out, I'm going to extend that left leg away this time. I'm going to ease back, and then I'm going to open up again. It's the same as you did on the other leg, making sure that the movement is just as big or small as it works for your body. So the leg could still be quite high, it doesn't need to drop down very far. Just making sure that you don't feel that the weight of the leg is making you arch the back, or is it taking the strain into the back. The neck feels loose, I'm not tightening through the neck, I'm not clenching the jaw. I'm trying to stay as loose, as relaxed as possible. 5, 4, if the right leg is up, making sure it's still holding sharp. 3, 2, last one. I'm going to hold the leg in place, and then I'm just going to keep the arms going. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring the left leg back, easing the left leg down, right leg follows, and then dropping the arms, pushing the band to one side, extending the legs away, extending the arms away, stretching down the front of the belly, stretching down the front of the hips, so releasing any tension from the front of the body. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing the arms all the way back, reaching forward into the arms, tilting the chin to the chest, lifting the head, lifting the shoulders, strong through the center, all the way up into sitting. Using the hands at the back of the legs to help if you need, using the arms to push, or rolling over onto the side if I know that I can't make it all the way up. As you get to the top, I'm going to try and stay with the front of the belly. But this time I'm going to try and see if I can get the external abdominal to work as well as the internal ones. So instead of just the stability, I'm trying to encourage movement into the belly. So setting the band nice and flat against the soles of the feet. Making sure that it's safely tagged. It's not tangled. If it's tangled, it's more likely to roll. So I don't want the band to snap up my face at any time. Check it for damage, as if there is a little hole or a little cat on the edge that might split the band, and I don't want the band to split. I'm going to start off with the hands in line with the side of the shins. The knees are bent, the legs are nice and relaxed. I'm going to take a deep breath in, and then as I breathe out, trying to see if I can move through the lower spine, through the lower lumbar spine. Tucking the tailbone under, I'm going to round the lower back, I'm going to round the upper back, and then leaning into the band. See if you can picture the back of your pelvis to touch the floor, but not your lower back and or the rib cage. Then I'm going to rock my way back up into sitting, and then trying again. Some of you might find that it's quite painful for the tailbone. If you roll the mat, if you fold the mat in that way, so creating a little groove in the middle, that might take the pressure off the tailbone, so making it feel a little bit more comfortable as you're moving up and down. Or you can just dabble the mat to see if you can make it a little bit softer, and see if you can take the pressure off that way. So see if you can round and roll back. So trying to get the back of the pelvis to touch the ground, but keeping the rest of the spine away. And then I'm going to ease back. So the arms are giving me that little extra helper, so I don't need to stiffen up through the legs. So the legs are quite loose. The feet should be able to stay on the floor. It doesn't feel as if they're kind of like lifting away. If they're lifting away, your hips are pulling too hard. See if I can allow the thighs to relax a little bit more. If I'm happy with the movement, and I feel that I've got a little bit more movement through the lumbar spine, so I feel that I can do a little bit more now, then I'm going to roll my way back. I'm going to stay there. Keeping that tension into the band, I'm going to turn over to one side, coming back, and then I'm going to turn the other way. Then easing back, and then I'm going to roll my way back up. Think of the rotation coming from the top. So I'm going to round into the back, keep my back nice and rounded. I'm going to rotate one way. I'm going to rotate the other. Both sides of the bum are staying on the ground. So I'm trying to turn from the shoulders, not from the hips. And then trying again. So I'm going to roll back. I'm going to rotate one. Rotate to the other side. Coming back to the center. And then making my way back. Going back. Rotating one way. Rotating the other. Coming back to the center. And then easing back. Making sure that you're not always turning first to the same side. See if you can alternate so both sides get exactly the same amount of work. Side, and then back to center, making your way back. 3 more. Rolling back, if I can, side to side, back to the center, and then easing back. Rotate, rotate, back to center, and releasing back. Last time. Just rolling back, rotate, rotate, back to center, and releasing back. Easing the tension from the band, pushing the band to one side. So a little bit more movement through the upper body, or fully a little bit more connection into the front of the belly. I'm going to try and get a little resistance, but this time working through the legs. So I'm going to step the legs together, and then I'm going to tie the band around the knees. Making sure that it's reasonably tight, not digging, but tight. And then I'm going to use a little knot or a little bow to hold it in place so that the band doesn't come undone. And then I'm going to keep the band there. Then I'm going to flip the legs to one side, and then I'm going to lower myself down until I'm resting on the side. The head is on the arm, so the arm supporting the head. If I know that my shoulder doesn't go that way, I'm just going to pop the block and then wrap the arm around it. Whichever option you go for the head, making sure that you're not flopping and sagging. So see if I can hold one shoulder on top of the other, one hip on top of the other, and then same as usual, see if I can be aware of the side of the rib cage lifting away from the ground, just to see if you can think of creating that little space underneath of the body. So I'm not slumping and collapsing, I'm trying to hold myself up. The knees are bent directly in front of the hips, and then the shins are nice and parallel to the front of the mat. So you've got a 90-degree angle at the hip and a 90-degree angle at the knee joint. Maintaining that 90-90, I'm going to press the heels of the feet together. What I want is for the big toes to pull away from each other, and then I'm going to start opening up into climb. Then I'm going to close back and then open it again. If I'm doing it correctly, the tension should be onto the side of the hip. So I'm trying to get into my glute med, I'm trying to get into my pelvic stabilizers. If the glute med doesn't work or is too lazy to work, the tendency will be for the hips to start rolling forward and back. So I'm just making it look as if the leg is lifting. I'm actually pulling it backwards instead of trying to lift it upwards. So imagine your hips are to be against the wall. I don't have space to go backwards, so I'm just trying to lift upwards. And then as I try to create that lift, to see if I can almost like direct the tension into the side of the bum, making sure that it's not your back that is suddenly tensing and pulling. I'm trying to keep that tension just into the hip, so the lower back feels soft, the ribcage feels relaxed, there is no tension into the arms or into the shoulders. The side of the hip or the side of the bum will start feeling tender, it will start feeling sore. If I need to stop, I'm just going to stop and have a rest. If I can keep it going, I'm going to try and keep it going for 5. Encouraging that external rotation, trying to keep the big toe away from the other. The heels of the feet are still pressing together. 3, 2, and then last one, I'm going to hold the lift. Try not to let the knee drop. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing down. Giving the hip a little tap, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg. So a little bit more activation through the side. I'm going to try exactly the same thing with the side that is underneath. So swinging the legs to the front, pushing yourself up into sitting. I'm going to take the legs straight down to the other side and then lowering myself down the other way. So the head is supported with the block of the arms. So the knees are bent. I want them directly in front of the hips. The shins are level to the front of the mat. side of the ribcage, side of the belly, pulling up and away from the ground, so the back is still in neutral. Pressing the heels of the feet together, pulling the big toes away from each other, and then I'm going to start getting that external rotation going on this side. It's the same as you did on the other side. See if you can direct the tension into the side of the bum. If you're not sure, put the hand onto the side of the hip. Can you feel that muscle tensing? Or does it feel as if the tension is more to the front? Or does it feel as if the tension is more into your lower back? Can you make sure that the lower back is not arching? You're not gripping with your shoulders. You're not pulling with your back muscles. Can you make sure that the big toe is pulling away? As the big toe are pressing together, it becomes a push, which means that the tension will be more going through the inner thigh and the back of the leg. So see if I can try and keep it onto the side of the hip, encouraging that external rotation. And then coming back, making sure that the hips are not rolling backwards, they're still forward, that they're nice and still. It's just the leg moving into the hip socket. And then same as on the other side. If I need the rest, I'm going to take the rest. If I can keep it going, I'm going to keep it going. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, I'm going to hold that lift. Don't let the knee drop. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back. Giving the hip a little tap, releasing the hip, releasing the leg. It's a little bit more connection into the side. I'm just going to undo the band. Pushing the band out of the way and to one side. Rolling over onto your back. Just giving the side of the hip and the side of the bum a little bit of a stretch. I'm going to extend the left leg away, bring the right up and towards the chest. Opposite hand goes around the leg, anywhere around the knees or the shin, and then gently pulling the leg across until I can feel the little tension going from the side of the bum up the side of the leg. The more I lift the bum off the ground, the more it turns into a twist, so I'm taking the stretch into the back. So I don't want the bum to lift very high, so I'm going to resist any further lifting, but still pulling with the arm. And then if I hold the shin, the knee or the thigh is going to change my stretch. If I drop the leg down, if I bring it up, it's going to change the stretch. If I flex the knee more, if I open the knee further, it changes the stretch. So find the one that works for your hip, for your leg. Hip replacement, you're taking the leg across that middle line, just making sure that it feels safe. If it doesn't, keep it very gentle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and easing back, releasing the leg all the way down. Same thing with the left side, bring the left leg up, opposite hand goes around that leg. I'm going to gently pull the leg across the front and then playing with the position of the leg, see if I can find the position that gives me the better stretch. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Extending the leg away, relaxing the leg, releasing the hips, and then last a little effort. I'm going to bend the knees and bring the feet back up and towards me. Scrubbing hold of your band, setting the band nice and flat against the right foot. Same as before, making sure that it's safely tacked so it's not going to roll, it's not going to snap. I'm going to lift the right leg up into tabletop and then I'm going to reach the hands as far up the band as I can. That way, or that way will be easier for the wrist, as the loose end of the band is close to my thumb, as I can pull better. I'm going to take a deep breath in. As I breathe out, I'm going to push away with the leg
and then I'm going to pull with the arms. See if you can keep the elbows tucked into the side of the rib cage. Think of just a little bicep curl. Then I'm going to ease my way back, and then I'm going to try again. I'm going to extend away, pull with the arms, and then easing back, making sure that you just are pulling through the arm, so the tension is at the front of the arm. There is no tension into the neck. I'm not shrugging my shoulders up to my ears, up to my head. If I feel that that still feels quite easy, quite comfortable, I want to make it a little bit more challenging, then I'm going to try the same, lifting that left leg up into tabletop, and then holding the left leg nice and still, I'm going to push away with the right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 'Last one, I'm going to extend the right leg away, pull with the arms. I want the right leg to stay extended and then stay exactly in that same position. So I don't want it to go up or down, I want to stay there. I'm going to ease the tension through the arms, and then I'm going to pull again. 1, ease that tension and pull again. 2, ease the tension and pull again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one, I'm going to pull with the arms, I'm going to hold with the arms, and then I'm going to bend the knee. Take the leg back into tabletop, and then push away again. 1, come back into tabletop, push away again. 2, back into tabletop, push away. 3, arms are nice and still. 4, making sure that right knee is bending. It doesn't look as if it's twisting, it doesn't look as if it's coming across. 5, 4, 3, 2, watch that knee. Last time, and easing back, easing the tension from the band. Lowering the left leg if it's lifted, releasing the right, relaxing the arms, releasing the leg. I'm going to repeat exactly the same thing with the left side. So setting the band safely around that left foot. And then I'm going to hold the band, preferably that way, so loose end of the band close to your thumb, so it doesn't pull on the wrist. The wrist is nice and locked. I'm going to reach the arms as high up as I can, so locking the arms are nice and straight. Keeping the right foot on the ground, lifting the right leg up into tabletop if I can. And then same as on the other side, I'm going to drive that left leg away and then pull the arm towards me. Then I'm going to ease the arms and the leg back, and then I'm going to try again. Same as you did on the other side, making sure that you're not letting the leg and the arm snap back into place. So see if I can pull down gradually and release with the same control. The shoulders are down, the neck is relaxed. Release with the same control. 5. Dropping the right foot down if I feel that the right leg is becoming a bit too heavy. If you're lifting it up, see if you can keep it sharp and making sure that it's not flopping. Still connecting through the front of the arm, no tension into the neck. Last one, I'm going to pull with the arm, extend the leg away. Keep the leg extended nice and still, and then I'm just going to get the arms to reach, pull. 2 and pull. 3 and pull. 4 and pull. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to pull with the arms, hold with the arms, and then I'm going to bend that left, extend that left again. Control as you bend, extend away, making sure that the right is not going anywhere, is staying nice and still. Watch the left knee as it's bending, making sure that it's coming straight towards you. It doesn't look as if it's twisting and then coming across. So that's a nice straight drive and back, making sure that it doesn't look as if the leg is moving towards the center line of the body. So see if I can keep it to the left. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and easing back, lowering the right leg down. If it's lifted, is in the tension from the band, relaxing the arm, releasing the leg, extending the legs away, extending the arms away, stretching down the front of the hips, stretching down the front of the body. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Bring the arms back by the side, reaching forward into the arms, tilting the chin to the chest, lifting the head, lifting the shoulders, strong through the center, all the way back up to the top. Using the arms to help, rolling over onto the side and pushing if you need to do so. As you get to the top, find a comfortable position for the legs. You don't need to sit on the blockers. We're going to be leaning backwards, just encouraging opening across the front of the chest. I'm going to reach the hands behind at the back and keeping the hands reasonably wide apart. What I want now is for the shoulder to go behind the rib cage. So I'm going to roll the shoulders back. If I feel that they don't go back, I'm too tight, then I'm going to let the hands go a little bit wider. But I need to be able to take the shoulders back. So I'm going to roll the shoulders back, or squeezing the shoulder blades together, lifting the breastbone up and towards the ceiling. I'm going to lift up until I can feel the stretch going across the front of the chest. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. Keeping your comfortable seated position, dropping the right ear down to the right shoulder, reaching that left arm down and towards the ground to see if I can create a gentle tension, stretching down the side of the neck over the top of the shoulder. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing back, swap inside. Left ear to the left shoulder, reaching away with the right arm, making sure that you're not forcing the stretch. There is no shooting pain down the arms, there's no tingling into the fingers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and easing back. Returning the head back to the middle, allowing the chin to drop down to the chest, fingertips to the back of the head. I'm going to push down with the hands and lift up with the head. So the head should stay in the same position pretty much. But as soon as I put that tension between the two, I should be able to feel the stretch coming down the neck. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ease the pressure and releasing back. Giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. When you're ready, scooping the arms around the side, lifting them up and towards the ceiling. Release back, trying again. Lift up, drop it down. One more time. Lifting up as high as you can. Shoulders down. One hand to the belly, one hand to the back. Take your bow. Give yourself a clap on that. I hope you've enjoyed it. See you soon.